Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome to this month's Market Manager Forum from the NMFMA. We're glad you're carving out some time to join us today and learn what we have to offer you. My name is Scott. I'm the IT manager with the NMFMA. There's a lot of familiar faces in the chat. So, as always, feel free to come on camera, wave hello, or if you're more comfortable, just typing in the chat where you're joining us from. We'd love to hear from you. So a couple of quick housekeeping notes. You can post your questions in the chat. We do have a brief presentation today with Sabrina Priest from the NMDA. And I believe we're going to be holding questions till the end. So we should have plenty of time to address your questions in a conversational way. So you'll be able to come off of mute, chat with us in real time and have a conversation around the Taste the Tradition and Grown with Tradition logo programs that we're going to be hearing more about today. So I think that's about it for housekeeping before we jump into the presentations. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to my colleague, Andrea Warner, who is our market manager liaison, to share with us a little bit more.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Thanks. I'm glad to see you all here. Hi. Hi, Karina and Alicia and Fidel and Rhonda and Vicky. I'm so glad you could make it this morning. We had about 12 people sign up for the presentation today, and so we'll just kind of give a few more minutes for people to show up. But Sabrina's let us know that she expects her presentation to be about a half an hour. And so that leaves us a little time for something that we don't normally have time for, which is introducing ourselves. And so if you're able to come on camera, if you're able to come off mute, we're going to invite you to do that and just say hello to us and tell us what market you're with or what organization you're with and the community you're from. So let's start. Actually, let's start with, I see Karina there smiling and waving at me. So let's start with Karina. Well, I'll start. I'm Andrea Warner. I'm the market manager liaison. I should introduce myself, shouldn't I? And I am hail from Silver City. Right now, I'm living up in Santa Fe, so I'm in the north part of the state until May, and I was the Silver City Farmers Market Manager for about 5 years, and I've been with the NMFMA now. I think it's going on 4 years, and I've worked through all the programs and that we have here, and I've landed at Market Manager Liaison, and it's been a pleasure to work with all of you. Okay, now I'm going to pass it to Karina.
Hi, everybody. I'm Karina Logie, and I'm up north in Espanola. So myself and Emily, we co-manage the Espanola Farmers Market. And this is our second season, and it's going beautifully. We're so happy and proud and excited about what's going on. We have lots of great programs and collaborations. Yeah, it's just been such a delight, and it's I think it's one of the gems of northern New Mexico, and our community is just so happy to be there. So yeah, and thank you all for your support. It feels like I feel really held in what we're doing, and it's just a matter of time for us, to utilize all the programs. So we're just chipping away at everything in our second season. So thank you all so much.
Yeah, you all are doing a great job at utilizing the programs.
Thank
you. I can see a vast difference in this year from your first year. I think it's just getting better and better.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
And I also know that some of you, when you join our meetings, you don't have a microphone and you don't have a camera. So feel free to write into chat if you're not able to introduce yourself off camera or on camera and off mute. The next face I see here is Alicia Montoya. Would you be able
to
introduce
Hi, everyone. My name's Alicia. I work for a nonprofit organization here in Silver City called the Frontier Food Hub / National Center for Frontier Communities. I'm the community engagement coordinator, and we currently have a few different projects going on. We're in the process of reestablishing a community garden and greenhouse training center in one of the more marginalized sections of the community. And we're also I get to do all the fun stuff. I put on different events and cooking classes and gardening workshops, and we do a lot of stuff inside the schools that relate to just the food system, and we really try to get children to understand the connection from seed to plate to compost and that full cycle. So I was invited by Andrea to join the meeting today. She's part of our Southwest New Mexico Food System Alliance. So I'm just happy to be here and just kind of see what's going on. And I'm excited to hear from Sabrina. So thank you for inviting me today.
Let me come off mute. Thanks, Alicia. We're excited that you're here as well. The next face I see here, Laura, is Lauren. And Lauren, we're just coming off mute and introducing ourselves, saying what market or organization we're from before we get our program started for the day.
All right, thank you. My name is Lauren Schoonover, and I'm with the planning committee for the Anthony market. It's just starting our first. We're trying to schedule it for March, the beginning of March. So I'm here to learn from all of you. I think I'm in the right group right now. Thank
Great.
you.
Yeah, thank you, Lauren. That was quick. Thanks that email just went out this morning. I'm glad you were able to jump on with us. And
Yeah.
if you want to stay on after the meeting today, Lauren, and you and I can talk afterwards about the SNAP, joining the SNAP
Okay.
programs, we can do that.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. I see that in the chat, Rhonda Reinhardt from South Valley Growers Market has let us know that she can't unmute or show video, but she's here with us. Thanks for joining us, Rhonda. I'm always glad to see your name pop up in our meetings. Fidel, are you able to come off mute today? I know that's been an issue in the past for you. Maybe you can just let us know in the chat if you're able to, where you're from. Vicky, are you able to join us?
Yes.
Oh, there's Fidel, and great. Fidel, go ahead. It just took a minute.
So
Thanks.
my name is Fidel Montoya. I am the market manager for Kirtland. This is my first year managing, and I am enjoying it so far, and I will be back next year.
Wonderful. That's great. That's always great to hear from a first year manager that you're coming back. Thanks, Fidel, for that work you're doing. Okay, Vicky. Now, if you go ahead.
Hello, I'm Vicky from Hemis Springs, New Mexico. I currently run the farmers market here, the Hemis Valley Farmers Market, alongside with Autumn Trujillo. And yeah, we love the farmers market and everything about it, and it's been such a blessing to be a part of an amazing group.
Thanks, Vicky. And we just have to say that in our marketing department, we've been noticing that Hemis has been really active on socials, and what a great job
Yes,
you've
thank
been
you so
doing on
much.
socials. Yeah. Yep. And there, that segues perfectly into Mark. Why don't you come off mute and say hi, Mark?
Sure. Hey, everybody. Mark Chamberlain. I work with the gang here at New Mexico Farmers Marketing Association with Scott and Andrea and everyone else. And I do the marketing and creative stuff, or not all of it, but I work on it. I'm the director of it. And I think I've had the pleasure of working with some of you on individual things, but it's a pleasure to be here.
And lastly, but not least at all, is we're joined by Sabrina Priest, who is the Ag Marketing Specialist from the NMDA. And I'm just going to hand the meeting right over to her and get us started here, and she can introduce herself and get us going.
Hello, everyone. It's such a pleasure to be here, and I appreciate the opportunity to come to your meeting and meet you and let you know about one of the programs that NMDA has available, both for farmers markets as well as the vendors within your markets. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm sending the request to share my screen. And I have a little presentation that I'm going to get started with here. Can you see my screen? Perfect.
Yes.
Wonderful. There's nothing like going through a presentation for about 5 minutes and then realizing that you weren't screen sharing. So glad to avoid that. So what I'm here to tell you about is the New Mexico Department of Agriculture logo program. As you can see here, we have two logos. We have our New Mexico Grown with Tradition and New Mexico Taste the Tradition. And a little bit of background about this program. Through the numerous marketing efforts over the years at NMDA, we have found that strong traditions form a common thread across all New Mexico agricultural products. And that's why NMDA created the New Mexico Taste the Tradition, Grown with Tradition logo program in 2000. So this program has been around for 25 years, which is very exciting. And the primary intent of these logos is to promote New Mexico products and to identify them as grown or made in the state. But NMDA is also dedicated to making sure that the logo program is a brand that works for you, our members. We want it to be something that is beneficial for the members of our program. A little bit more background about it. If you'll see up here, you can see the original logos. These were the logos that were created when the program was launched in 2000. And between 2000 and 2023, the program grew to over 300 members. But about that time, around COVID, they were looking at the logos and looking at the program and decided they really wanted to refresh the logos, as well as update the website, update the database. And so we did a relaunch of the program in 2023. And again, you can see our slogan there, a brand that works for you. So a few reasons why we did the relaunch in 2023 is we wanted our logos to look more timeless and be more rooted in the tradition of the many traditions of New Mexico. We also improved our online members portal. And then we updated our public-facing website. The address is right here, www.elevatenmag.com. And we'll touch base on that website here a little bit in the presentation. So the colors we chose for our logo, we have Tierra Brown for New Mexico, rooted in the earth, rooted in the land. We have Sunrise Yellow. We all know the sun is such something we all associate with our state, with the many days of sunshine, and we know in order for our crops to grow, we of course need the sun. And then we have our Ristra Red as a tie to the chili production here in New Mexico, as well as Harvest Green. And so we believe these logos are simple, that they're timeless, and they really capture the feel of New Mexico and our agricultural and food production traditions. Some of the other changes that we made is we wanted to make the program more inclusive. And so we added more allowable products for Grown with Tradition. Grown with Tradition products, those are primarily would be farmers, ranchers, people who are growing and producing the food. Taste the Tradition products are more of your value-added products. Those can be salsas, bread mixes, tomato sauces, they're so jerky. There's so many amazing products that people make here in New Mexico. And so that's what falls under the Taste the Tradition. And then the third designation that we have, which is especially relevant to farmers markets, is we added an associate member designation. And so the associate member has all the same benefits as Grown with Tradition or Taste the Tradition members, but it's for organizations such as farmers markets, nonprofits, and other businesses that have an active role in supporting agriculture and supporting food producers within New Mexico, but perhaps they're not growing the food themselves or processing the food themselves. So those of you who are farmers markets managers, absolutely, an organization can join the logo program. The NMFMA is a part of the program, and then we have several, I think about 5 or 6 other farmers markets throughout the state who have joined the program. And so you're able, as I go through the benefits, know that your market is able to access the benefits. And then, of course, if you have individual vendors within your market that wants to join the program, they can join as well. So before I move into all of the benefits, is there any quick questions about what I just covered?
There is a comment in the chat from Rhonda saying that she never knew there was a difference between the Taste the Tradition and Grown with Tradition program. And so
Very good. Yes, and like I said, it's more the logo, it's the logo usage. The benefits are the same, but that is how we differentiate when someone comes on and wants to join the program. And there's some that fall under both, right? They might be growing the produce that they're also packaging as a salsa. So then they would have access to both of those logos. But this is just a little bit of a brief overview of some of the benefits that we'll be going into a little deeper. Several things that we have our chef ambassadors that are available to do demos at various events and in-store sampling. One of the things that we're talking about as we move into 2026 is having our chef ambassadors available if any of your markets wanted to take advantage of the Shop and Taste program and funding that NMFMA has available. So that's something that we could work together with you on. We do a lot of social media and even TV advertising, as well as some other things I'm going to go on more in depth. For people who have value-added products, we have things like our New Mexico State Fair Country Store. We offer pavilions at various trade shows. And then we have our members Mercado for members, where you can get access to signage, produce bags, twist ties, branded products with our logo that you're able to purchase at cost. And these others, like I said, we'll be going into just a little bit more in depth. And one thing that I want you all to know as well, the relaunch of these logos is fairly new. We're seeing it more and more on products and signage. There's still some companies and everything that are still using the old logo because they still had labels and things like that with the old logo. But we're really working on our end to educate the consumer about what these logos mean. And so that when people see them, whether it's associated with your market or something that's sold within the market, that they can have confidence that the product is from New Mexico. One of the things that we are doing with consumer education about the logos is of course, we have our social media, but we also have these rack cards. We handed out a lot of these at the state fair the past couple of weeks to just educate the public and the consumer about what the logo program is for. And so you can see we're encouraging them to shop local, to celebrate New Mexico traditions, advance New Mexico agriculture, support New Mexico agribusiness, and grow New Mexico's economy. And then if they scan this QR code, it takes them to our Elevate NM Ag website, and it lists all the businesses that are part of the logo program. So if someone is looking for a particular product, or they're looking for maybe a beef producer or something like that, we have that available on our website. And so all of our members are listed there. So a little bit about you. You might be thinking, well, this program, is there a cost? What do I have to do to be a part of it? The NMDA logo program is free. So there's absolutely no fees to join, and there's no cost to participating in the member benefits. The merchandise that we have available through the Members Mercado, we do sell it at cost. So whatever we paid for it is what we can sell it to you. So sometimes you might be able to get some things a little bit cheaper than possibly, just on your own trying to purchase them. Another benefit of joining the program is our online members portal. So you can see here, this is our member dashboard. If you join our program, you can see, it would say your name here. It would list your application. So if you ever needed to update the contact person or maybe the hours of your market, you can update it there, and then it updates it on our website as well. One of the benefits that we're going to be going over is our cost share reimbursements, and you'll find that here as well, and then access to the Members Mercado. So as we move into some of the benefits of the program, we host, it's not monthly, it's more like every other month. We host virtual lunch and learns, very similar like to what NMFMA does. And things that we have gone over there is, information about the New Mexico State Fair Country Store. We have them on cost share reimbursements. If there's some grants that are coming up that we think could be of value to you, we might do a lunch and learn on the grant, talking about different advertising opportunities. We want to do some in the future a little bit about just social media training, and that's something that is constantly evolving. And so even like myself, I was very, very involved at my previous employment with social media. And even now, it's just constantly changing. And it's hard to stay updated with some of that. And so that's something that we're, wanting to focus on here in the future. And so something that I think is really valuable both to your markets and then as well as individuals within your market who also may want to join the program is our cost share reimbursements. Our cost share reimbursements fall under 3 categories. The first category is labeling, especially, when you're starting off with a new product, or if you're even you need to make some changes to your label to make sure it still falls within the legal compliance and regulations. That's something that we can help you with. If our logo is added to your label, then it can qualify for the cost share reimbursement. You can apply for the label cost share reimbursement once a year. We typically can cover up to 50% with a cap of $5,000. And then the cost share doesn't cover reprints. It covers, new product labels. If you're adding our logo to your original label, if you're doing a relaunch, that type of thing. Sometimes people will do a relaunch and they might update the labels on 3 of their products one year. They would qualify, and then the next year they do 3 more products. Because it's different products, it would still qualify for the label cost share. The other cost share reimbursement that we offer is our advertising. Advertising is a very broad umbrella. It can cover everything from a major social media campaign. It can cover banners, signs, tablecloths, radio ads. We've had people do vehicle wraps like on their trucks or delivery vans. We've had people do billboards. So there really isn't anything too big or too small for that. We have a lot of people who wanted to update their booths, right, for their farmers markets and their other events. And so getting a tablecloth, some nicer banners, maybe a backdrop, as long as our logo is printed somewhere on there, it can qualify for the cost share. And that would include, those of you with markets, like the signage for your markets or advertising you might be doing for your market itself would certainly fall under that. And again, the cost share covers up to 50% with a cap at $5,000. And then lead generating events can be anything from a trade show you attend. It can be a market that maybe you typically don't, as a vendor, that a vendor doesn't typically attend. So for example, if they're a regular vendor at the Las Cruces Farmers Market, it would not cover their cost for their, annual booth fee. However, if they were to travel to Santa Fe for a special Christmas market or to Albuquerque for the balloon fiesta or something like that, then that would qualify as a lead generating event. And then for various organizations, it can also, depending on the meeting, it can also cover some conferences. Like if you're going to get more training, and for example, I'm sure there's different farmers markets conferences possibly. I know within the state there's one in March, but I know even nationally. And so it can help cover the registration fees for things like that as well. And again, it's capped at 50% up to $5,000, and it's only for if it's an event, a booth fee or the registration fee. It doesn't cover travel or hotel. And these cost shares, funding is on a first come, first served. So if you're looking at spending a large amount that without the cost share reimbursement, it just wouldn't be feasible, we really recommend checking in with us to make sure the funding is there, so that if for whatever reason it's not, it might mean waiting a few months if you want to take advantage of the funding, or you just so you're not, we just don't ever want anyone to be surprised and to have them count on something. So that's the cost share reimbursements. Did anyone have any questions specifically over that?
There is a question in chat, and you might be getting to this, but it's about new products and if there's jurying of the new products.
Like a jurying of the new products, there's not. So if you have a product that for the logo program, one thing that we do require, and some of you may be familiar with, is the chili vendor Verification Act that the New Mexico legislature passed a few years ago. And that's any products that are marketed in New Mexico that refer to New Mexico, Hatch, Rio Grande Valley, 575, anything like that. It has to be chili verified through our standards and consumer services that the chili came from New Mexico. And because this is the New Mexico NMDA logo program, any products that contain chili or jalapeno have to be chili verified. And that process is actually, especially if you're doing value added, is easier than it sounds. It sounds intimidating, but I'm always happy to help people with it, as well as point you to my colleagues in the standards and consumer services. So that would be the one thing, but otherwise, if you have a product and there's no other no other jurying or anything like that we have to go through for it. Okay, let me get back. Okay.
I do have a question about the cost share reimbursement, Sabrina, because the NMFMA offers a promotional reimbursements for per market, and it's $300 plus $5 per vendor per year for market member. Would they be able to utilize, this is where we start to try and make things work for markets that they usually don't have a lot of promotional funds. Would they be able to utilize our promotional funds as the 50% to match that with the cost share reimbursements, or would that have to be their own funding? Does that?
Oh, I see. So what you're asking is, and I just want to make sure I'm clear. If they had $300 from you,
yes,
and then and they, with that money, they were using it for promotion,
correct.
and then they went to see
everybody's
from
logo.
us to get the cost share. I think it would. I would need to double check, but if the money is something that they have in hand, I think they could still use the cost share to help stretch that a little further. But that is something I would need to double check on.
And I realize what we're doing is reimbursing them. So that's an interesting, they're just to really help those markets kind of double and triple their promotional funds. So
if you're reimbursing, we definitely, so for example, we have companies that are also part of WUSADA, which is the Western United States Trade Association. And that trade association will also offers cost share reimbursements for different especially with international events and things. And so we definitely have customers or members who will access the WUSADA cost share for their lead and us for their event as well. So yeah, I think that shouldn't, that would definitely, I feel like, work together.
Great.
So the next thing that I touched on earlier, our members Mercado, you see a photo of one of our produce twist ties. And we have branded items available. We have produce bags, twist ties. We have labels, like stickers with our logo. We have signage. We're looking at adding some new labels. Now that I'm back from the state fair and can work on designing those, specifically those that might be more applicable for flower growers, as well as some smaller labels, because some of what we have, some of the labels are somewhat large, but we also have some we call our menu size. And so we will have people so for example, they just joined the program, but they've already done their labels and packaging, and they're not going to be updating that for a while because they already went through that expense. You can purchase a roll of 500 labels from us, depending on the size. It ranges from $10 to $15, and then people will add that logo to their packaging using these little labels. And then again, like I said, we have some signs with grommets in them that can be hung, and these are sold to members at cost. And then something else, especially for those of you who have, people in your market who are interested in joining the program, We do a holiday lookbook every year. It's a digital holiday lookbook, and we do have some printed as well, but it's primarily digital, where people can open it up, they can click on the product or click on the company name and go either to their website, their Facebook, or if there's someone who doesn't have that yet, it will take them to like their phone number and contact information. And we advertise this significantly with, we have a media company we work with that does significant social media advertising, as well as television advertising. We release the lookbook Thanksgiving week, and then heavily promote it leading up to Christmas. And so it's a great opportunity for members, because all you have to do is get us your product to be photographed, and it's free. And so you get a lot of free advertising. We've also we did not do one this year, but we have in the past done a harvest lookbook, which is more for those fresh growers, like the growers, right? And fresh produce. And that's something that I believe they did 1 or 2 years. And then this year, just with some budgeting and things like that, we felt like we couldn't put into it what we would want to. But it's definitely something that's going to be returning in the future. And then, like I mentioned, we have our chef ambassadors that are available. We take them to various events. They were at State Fair helping with the Green Chili Cheeseburger Challenge. We take them to the Las Cruces Pecan Festival, the Homegrown food show and gift market, but they're also available. We're willing, we can work with markets and work with NMFMA if you're wanting to take advantage of the shop and taste opportunity, where they can come and create some amazing dishes and do sampling with products that you have in your market. And this is Jordan. Jordan and John were our previous chef ambassadors. We just welcomed in the new class. So I'll need to update this picture, but I don't have one to update yet. And then the other option, another benefit is New Mexico pavilions and trade shows. Again, this is more for value-added products. Within the National Association of Agricultural State Agricultural Departments, at the National Restaurant Association show and the Natural Products Expo West show, NMDA will purchase a pavilion, and then members have the opportunity to have a booth within the pavilion. And so because we pay the largest upfront cost, so versus paying maybe $5,000 or $10,000 for a booth, our logo program members might just have to pay like $500 or $600. So that's a great opportunity for people with value-added products that they're looking to grow and maybe get into more national and even international. And we also have Homegrown, which is a food show and gift market that takes place this year. It's November 22nd and 23rd at the Farm and Ranch Heritage Museum in Las Cruces. That's open to all New Mexico vendors and products, but if you are a logo program member, you get your booth for free. And so that's a benefit that we offer. And then you heard me mention earlier at the New Mexico State Fair country store. In our agriculture building, we have a country store that is just filled with New Mexico products. Our country store manager has a fantastic team that will demo your products for you if you're not able to be there. However, if you're people are always welcome to come by and demo their products themselves. And we have events, we have happy hours going on in our pavilion, the Country Store Pavilion, every night, every afternoon and evening during the state fair. That's also where Battle of the Salsas takes place, the Green Chili Cheeseburger Challenge, various awards ceremonies for different cooking contests and 4-H contests. So it's a really lively area. We do a lot to bring people in, and it's a great opportunity to have your products seen, and like I said, also demo your products.
Sabrina, I just want to address one. There's been a few questions in the chat, and I've been trying to answer some of them in the chat, but there's one here I just want to clarify from Ileana Perez. And she asked, would we be able to utilize local chefs? And I think they're referring to our shop and taste program, where they can, if your market wants to have a shop and taste, and Scott dropped in the chat the link to the shop and taste program through the New Mexico Farmers Marketing Association. You can utilize a chef of your choice. We're going to be partnering with the Taste the Tradition program for those markets that are struggling maybe to put together a shop and taste because they don't have the capacity for it. And we'll be looking to possibly, this is still a work in progress for 2026, but we're hoping to be able to send chefs from their chef program out to do shop and taste at markets. So again, we're also looking at sharing funds and how we can take our funding and make it work better for markets. So just to clarify that, I saw your heart.
Perfect.
Ileana.
And I did see a question in the chat regarding the erasable cards. And we actually did just, that was one of the things with the updated logo. There's even on our end different things that we needed to go back and refresh. And we do have we don't have them available in the Mercado yet, but we did create the template for them. And we did have them printed for use in the Country Store this year. And one thing that I'm going to look at, we printed just a small amount for the Country Store. We just did 50. And I think I would like to get the cost of it lower, because I think the cost will need to be a little bit lower than what we paid in order for markets to take advantage of that. So that's something that I'm going to be checking with our printer here that we used, because we just did 50. And so if we were to do, in the hundreds or something like that, if we could get that price for those lower, so that we could offer it on our members Mercado. And those are simply laminated cards that have our logo on them, and then they work with a dry erase marker, so people can use them for pricing for their products. And I accidentally skipped a slide, but just another slide covers it a little bit further down. But something to let you all know, we encourage our members, we remind them that they're also ambassadors of our logo program. And lots of times, our members, whether you're managing a market or you participate in a market, you have that regular interaction both with producers and consumers, and have the opportunity. So many of our members come to us because the guy that's at the booth next to them selling honey told them about the program, and so now they're joining. And so really word of mouth oftentimes I think still works better than all the social media and everything we can do, because people love that connection. But letting you know, if you're interested in signing your market up, or letting your vendors know. And I don't know if Scott might be able to put this in the chat, but the elevatenmag.com/logo program, That is the page where you can also direct people to learn more about the logo program. And that's also where the link is to fill out the application. And when you fill out the application, I get a notification, and then I'll reach out directly to you, and we'll, if there's any verification documents or anything that I might need, I'll be in contact with you about that. And then somehow, what did I do here? Here we go. And then once you do become members and you go to elevatenmag.com, you'll see you'll see the search Ag community, and that's where you'll be listed. Your business will be listed. And then here's the member login. And that's where you would log in if you were perhaps wanting to purchase some signs. We wanted to fill out a cost share reimbursement. It's right there. You can see this is an old shot because I know there's some other businesses there now, but this is how it shows up if you have a Facebook, Instagram, a website, email, phone number, the products. And, like you can see, if you don't have a website, that's fine too. Just whatever information you have, along with business. If you are open with business hours to the public, that would be posted. If you're at certain markets at certain times, or your market that you're managing, your business hours for the market would be here. And then just to let you know, we do have Instagram, we have Facebook. We're very active on those. We have a lot of menus and things posted on Pinterest. Our TikTok, I don't help with the TikTok. I do with the Facebook and Instagram. And so sometimes we have student workers who are very active on our TikTok for us. But these are just some other ways where you can reach out to us, where you can check out to see what's going on, where we're always posting anytime we do have an opportunity like the country store, or we're promoting homegrown. You'll also see that on our socials. And that's all of the presentation. Were there any other questions?
I'm really impressed, Sabrina. This is a wonderful program. I'm looking forward to seeing how the managers and the vendors utilize it. Something you mentioned about word of mouth is, as these markets sign up to be associate members, it might be, I don't know if you're sending a packet out to them, but I know something as a market manager that's always difficult is getting the word out to your vendors. And so sending some flyers along that they could pass out to their vendors once they're members, I think would be helpful for the managers to get the information to the individuals.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, am I frozen?
Nope,
okay. I'm frozen on my end. But one of the things, absolutely, we do have flyers that are specifically targeted for vendors and producers. And I can also not only send some physically, but also send a PDF, so then you can print them yourself as needed. And then also with regards to social media, we share we try to, when someone becomes a member, then we try to follow them as well, so that we see their posts. And so we consistently try to share farmers markets. We share a lot of NMFMA, as well as, our vendors. We try to do our part to promote you as well.
And Rhonda's asking in the chat if you have a contact number you can share.
Yeah, I'll put that in here. I don't know, my computer's just a little It seems like it's just a little frozen on my end. I'm not sure what's going on. Like I can click in the chat, but it's not letting me write.
Well,
But I can, if you're able to post it, I can say right now, I can share my phone number. It's pretty easy. It's 575-646-2220.
and we'll be sending out a video recap after the
Right.
program, and we'll make sure. Oh, thanks, Scott. Scott posted it there in the chat, and we'll make sure to put all your contact information in that
Yes.
email with the video recap as well.
Perfect. Yeah, putting my email in, and yeah, and absolutely you can reach out to me anytime.
Great. And Lauren, I see you have your hand up.
Yes, thank you. I don't know if this is the platform to ask the following, but since we are just starting this farmers market in Anthony, I wanted to see how you would help us, or can you help us in spreading the word and saying, hey, new farmers market, or who can help us with that? That's my question.
Yep, you're in a great place, Lauren. We can all help you on that. And we through social media, usually how it works is we repost, and I think the same for the Taste the Tradition programs. When I see them
Yes.
reposting what market has already posted, and that's the easiest way. So if you haven't started any social media outreach yet, that would be the best place to start, is to get your social media started. You can always also email me a flyer, and I can pass that on to our social media person. But what we really like to do is repost people who are active, or as active as they can be on social media.
And something that we also do on our end with social media is we do highlight new members. So sometimes it takes time, especially when we have a lot of new members join at once, but we do member highlights every week, at least one a week, sometimes two. Wow, my computer just unfroze. And so that's something that we are always happy to share as well. We create posts for our members, and then exactly like Andrea said, and then we reshare as often as we're able to. And I just put my email in the chat as well.
Thank you very much.
And Lauren, I just want to volunteer too that our team can help provide. We have kind of a standard logo treatment that we create for new and existing markets, and also support with some of our promotional funds for doing whatever types of materials you might need. A lot of times it depends on bandwidth of the team and how much we can squeeze in, but feel free to reach out. To any of us here. You can reach out to me or Andrea, and we can get that going for you too.
I'm excited. I just to piggyback on, I used to live in Anthony, right by Gadsden High School. So I live in La Mesa now, but I'm excited. So I'm very close, if we ever needed to meet, if you join, or, definitely, we have multiple members down in Anthony that we like to every so often just run down and visit. So I'm excited that you're working on getting something started there.
We have Ileana, please go ahead.
Hi, Ileana Perez. I have a quick question. So let's say Anthony is great and we're blooming on this. How would we be able to get this to Santa Teresa or either Sunland?
This program, when you say this, you mean the program?
Like a farmer's market in general, like starting a farmer's market.
Sure. Well, that's a great question. We have some resources on our website. Ileana, if you'd like to stay on after the call, I'm also going to be talking to Lauren about, she had some questions about the new market starting up, and I'd be happy to talk to you about membership with the NMFMA, both of you, about membership and the resources that we have available to help markets.
Love it.
Yeah,
Yes.
glad you're here. Thank you.
Sorry, I don't know what I did, and I got off the Zoom, and I'm bad with technology. But anyway, I want to thank all of you for helping, Mark, Andrea, and the young lady Sabrina. Thank you so much. And Ileana's part of the new the committee for the farmers market
Oh,
also.
great. Great. So I'll be happy to talk to both of you, and we'll just, if you'll just stay here, hang out for a minute as we sign off, we can stay on. And anybody else who wants to stay on and listen to a recap of NMFMA programming, you're more than welcome to. And we have now about 4 minutes left. And if there's any more questions for Sabrina, I'd also please feel free to raise your hand or come off mute or drop them in the chat. Or if you have any general questions that are coming up for your farmers market right now, that you would like to pick the brain of all these other managers here, this is a good time to ask that question. We can help direct you towards an answer. And one other thing that Sarah Thompson, who was hoping to make it today, our nutrition incentives director, who was not able to make it here today, she asked me to let anybody who was on the meeting know that the FNS people who approve your SNAP machines and SNAP at your market are starting to come and do individual market checks. And she sent an email out today that has the signage that talks about why it's a bad idea for customers to think about fraud with the EBT program. Sorry, this is very deep information, double up food bucks information and SNAP information here. But she's reminding everybody to please go over the rules and regulations of your program, the SNAP program at markets, and to post signage where necessary. And there should be an email in your inbox about that information as well. And that's all I had. If anybody
Thank
else
you for that.
questions. Yeah, thank you, LeVar. Yeah, and LeVar, I missed you at the beginning. Thanks for joining us today. Corina, I saw you come off mute. Did you have a? No, okay. LeVar, I saw you come off mute.
I was just saying thank you.
Sure, thanks for being here. Well, thank you everyone for joining. Your need to sign off, please go ahead. I want to thank Sabrina for coming with all of this wonderful information. I'm really excited, and I'm going to be reaching out to continue to work with you, Sabrina, on how we can just bring all this wonderful support to our markets and our market vendors. And if anybody else has an individual question that they want to stay on for and ask, you're welcome to.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for
Thanks.
having me, and I look forward to hopefully working with some of you in the future.